a flash of his helmet, and off he strode and quickly reached his sturdy, well-built house. But white-armed Armadarche Hector could not find her in the halls. She and the boy, a servant finely gowned, were standing watch on the tower, sobbing, grieving, when Hector saw no sign of his loyal wife inside. He went to the doorway, stopped, and asked the servants, "Come, please tell me the truth now, woman. Where's Andromache gone? To my sister's house? To my brother's wives with their long flowing robes? Or Athena's shrine with the noble Trojan women gathered to win the great grim goddess over?" A busy, willing servant answered quickly, "Hector, seeing that you do not want the truth, she hasn't gone to your sister's brother's wives or Athena's shrine where noble Trojan women gathered to win the great grim goddess over. Up to the huge gate tower of Troy she's gone, because she heard of men are so hard pressed the Aeaean fighters come out in so much force. She sped to the wall in a panic, like a madwoman. The nurse went with her carrying her child. At that, Hector spun and rushed from his house, back by the same way down the wide, well-paved streets throughout the city, until he reached the Scaean gates, the last point where he'd be able to pass the field of battle. There his warm, generous wife came running up to meet him, Andromache, the daughter of gallant-hearted Eetion, who had lived below the Mount Plakios rich with timber, in Thebe, below the peaks, and ruled Sicilia's people. His daughter had married Hector, helmed in bronze. She joined him now, and following in her steps, a servant holding the boy against her breast. In the first flush of life, only a baby, Hector's son, the darling of his eyes, and radiant as a star. Hector would always call the boy Scamandrius. Townsmen would call him Astyanax, lord of the city, since Hector was the lone defense of Troy. The great man of war breaking into a broad smile as his gaze fixed on his son in silence. Andromache pressing along close beside him, and weeping freely now, clung to his hand, and urged him, "Reckless one, my Hector, your own fiery courage will destroy you. Have you no pity for him, our helpless son? Or me, and the destiny that weighs me down, your widow, now so soon? Yes, soon they will kill you off, all the Aeaean forces massed for the assault, and then, bereft you, better for me to sink beneath the earth. What other warmth, what comfort left for me? Nothing but torment. I have lost my father. Mother's gone as well. Father, the brilliant Achilles laid him low, when he stormed Sicilia's city filled with people. Thebe, Thebe with her towering gates. He killed Eetion. Now that he stripped his gear, he'd some respect at least, for he burned his corpse in all the blazoned bronze, then heaped a grave mound high above the ashes. The daughters of Zeus, all in the same way went down to the house of death. The great godlike runner Achilles butchered them all, tending their shambling oxen, shining flocks, and mother, who ruled the timberland of Woodies, Placos once. He so sooner hailed her here with other plunder. Then he took a priceless ransom, set her free, and she went home to her father's royal hills, where Artemis, showering arrows, shot her down. You, Hector, you are my father now, my noble mother, and a brother too. You are my husband, young and warm and strong. Pity me, please. Take your stand on the rampart here, before you orphan your son and make your wife a widow. Draw your armies up where the wild fig tree stands. There, where the city lies most open to assault, the walls lower, easily overrun. 3 times they have tried that point, hoping to storm Troy. Their best fighters led by the great and little Ajax, famous Idomeneus, Atreus' son, valiant Diomedes. Perhaps a skilled prophet revealed the spot, or their own fury whips them on to attack. All tall Hector nodded, his helmet flashing. All that weighs on his mind too, dear woman. But I would die of shame to face the men of Troy and the Trojan women trailing their long robes if I would shrink from battle now, a coward. Nor does the spirit urge me on that way. I've learned it all too well. To stand up bravely, always to fight in the front ranks of Trojan soldiers. Winning my father great glory, glory for myself, for in my heart and soul I also know this well. The day will come when sacred Troy must die. Priam must die, and all his people with him. Priam who hurls the strong-ass spear. Even so, it is less the pain of the Trojans still to come that weighs me down. Not even Hecuba herself, or King Priam, or the thought that my own brothers in all their numbers are their gallant courage may tumble in the dust, crushed by enemies. That is nothing.